Hey guys, Thogden here. Welcome back to a new video now today. Yesterday we ranked every single Premier League club and picked their most underrated player. Now we're going to go for overrated players. It's a little bit more of a difficult one. We're going to be a bit negative in this video, and we might be wrong, we might be right. We're two random geezers. We don't even support a Premier League club. We watch a lot of it, so we like to say we know a bit, don't we?
We certainly do, and today I'd like 9,000 likes, please.
Wow, more than the 8K of yesterday. Let's absolutely smash that. Share this video around. Let's hear your opinion in the comments to every single club. Who are we starting with, Dad?
Let's start with Arsenal. I'm just going to go for the whole damn team. Because they're all overrated.
Wait, have you actually gone for the whole... Is that what you got?
I haven't. Do you know what? I've gone for a player, a 25-year-old Spanish international, who can't take a throw-in properly.
Wow.
And for that reason, he's overrated. Hector Bellerin.
Dad, we agree on the first one. COVID. I've literally been out today, so you've got COVID now. But yeah, I've also gone for Hector Bellerin, Dad.
I mean, back in the day, he was a wonderful player, but these days, I'm sorry, he's lost it. He can't defend for toffee.
And he can't cross as well.
He can't cross it.
Sometimes he gets assists, but I mean, literally, if you're going to ask me why I put Hector Bellerin as the most overrated, just ask Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. On to the next one.
Aston Villa now, and I tell you what, if you've got a name like Trezeguet, you've got to be good.
Ooh.
I've gone for the Egyptian international.
I thought you'd go with who I went with, and that's Tyrone Mings.
Okay. Ooh, Goko, tell me about that then.
Well, the reason I went with Tyrone Mings is because people rate him highly, and that's a fact. There's Villa fans that love him, and there's people generally in the Premier League that think he's the best England centre-back.
Yeah.
Never mind the Premier League, like Aston Villa, the best England centre-back. And statements like that, in my opinion, are slightly wrong. And Tyrone Mings on his day can be a very good player, but he's a little bit inconsistent. He has got a mistake in him, and he does get saved by Ezri Konsa a lot in terms of defending. So I've gone with him as the most overrated, but he's still a good player.
Fair enough, Theo. No, I've gone for Trezeguet, and I'll tell you why. Okay, against Liverpool and Arsenal, he was good.
Yeah.
But in the other games, he's only got 1 assist.
Fair play.
He's missed 4 big chances.
But do people rate him, though? That's why I wouldn't put him.
Well,
do people actually rate him?
They do in Egypt.
Well, you could say this crossing. Either way, I get it, yeah.
I get where you're coming from with Mings, and a lot of people will agree with you, but I prefer Trezeguet.
And there will be haters, but that will stand for my point, because that shows people rate him. Anyway, on to the next team, Brighton. Who you gone with, Dad?
Well, I've gone with Matthew Ryan. This is the only goalkeeper I'm going to talk about today. He's conceding 1.6 goals per game.
Yeah.
He's only making 1.3 saves per game, and his save percentage is one of the worst in the division. Sorry, Matthew Ryan.
Yeah, I don't think people rate him that highly. Maybe a few Brighton fans do. Maybe a few Aussies. But the man I've gone with is someone that people rate. Jahan Baksh. I'm going to get a lot of hate in Iran. Actually, forget that. I'm going to get too much hate in Iran. I'm not going to say that name. Last time, it was a big mistake. I'm going to go for Neil Maupay. And the reason I am is because people rate this guy. And he's got like 4 goals and 1 assist this season. But they all came at the start of the season. He got them in like the first 3 games. Since then, he's been rubbish. He's been left out the team. He got red cards. He came off injured after missing a penalty because he was so upset about it. He's completely crumbled mentally. And he's not at the level that people rate him anymore. That's just true. Over the last few games, it's true. Neil Maupay recently has been woeful. And, you know, he could bounce back, but he's just missed a few too many pens, and now he's not even in the team.
But strikers go through bad patches. The guy's got 4 goals in a quarter of the season. Have you given up on him?
Last few games, he's been absolutely rubbish. If you look at his stats, it's not been good recently, and that's why I think he's currently overrated.
Burnley now, and I'm going with a Czech international who cost about 11 million quid, which is a lot for Burnley.
Yeah.
Matej Vydra.
Yeah, but no one really rates him, Dad.
Well...
You're losing the point in this video, mate. I've gone with someone that people rate, especially over in Leeds, Chris Wood. Ooh. Now, he has been good on his day. Over the last few years, he's scored goals here and there. But the reason I've gone with him is because this season he scored 2 goals. You might think, oh, that's okay. He's missed 7 big chances.
Ooh.
And down at the bottom of the table, missing 7 big chances over the last start of the season is terrible. It's a terrible record. He needs to fix that. So many times Burnley could have got big draws or big wins if he just put it in the back of the net, and he hasn't. He is no longer at the level he was before, therefore he's overrated.
Wow, now Vydra back in the day was really rated in his Reading days, his Derby days.
For a championship player.
This season, Theo, he's been on the field of play for 2.5 hours. He's got 1 shot. And that's not good enough for a player who cost 11 million.
No produce. No produce.
Go on,
Chelsea, Dad, who have you gone with?
Kai Havertz. A 72 million buy from Bayer Leverkusen, German international. Everything was expected of this guy. But this season, 1 goal, 1 assist, no big chances created. And I tell you what, that man Ziyech, half the price, twice the player. Kai Havertz.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. You've actually gone with Kai Havertz.
Yeah, surely you have as well.
Werner's been the one missing all the big chances. Have you
gone for Werner?
No, I've not gone for Werner. I'm not going for either. I think they both will become very good.
Yeah.
Werner's shown more recently, but he's also missing big chances. Havertz, it's harsh to say that, Dad. Now, they're looking into the future with that big money signing. I think you can't say Havertz yet. I do think he's a little bit overrated, and I get your point.
Yeah.
There's one man that Chelsea and other Premier League football fans rate more and isn't that good.
Go on then.
Callum Hudson-Odoi. And the reason I've gone with him, he's got the potential.
Yeah.
Right? But Chelsea fans, some Chelsea fans, not all of them, see him as he's already completed his full potential.
Yeah.
The guy's good on the ball, he's quick, he's got the ability, but he doesn't even get in the first team every game. And why do you think he does that? If he was really that special, Lampard would start him. And I understand he's your star boy, he's your younger, he's the one that everyone's seen grow up.
Yeah.
I can understand why Chelsea fans basically really want him to be successful, and maybe so much that it comes out as if he's already reached his full potential from the way they speak of him. But he isn't there yet. He's not generational. Has he got the potential? Yes. Could he be? Yes, but he isn't yet.
Very harsh. He's a young lad. The thing about Havertz, 72 million quid.
He's a young lad.
Pay
What
that
about
money,
Havertz?
and
Is
you
Havertz young?
expect him to come straight into the team and perform.
No, you just said, oh, very harsh, he's a young lad. Havertz is young too.
72 million, Theo.
Yes, I know.
How much did Hudson-Odoi cost?
Nothing.
There you go. That's
But
the
this is
difference.
about bias. Havertz could become a very good player for the next few years. And if he does, you're going to look back thinking you're a mug. He already is a mug, but even bigger of a mug.
Crystal Palace now, and I've gone for a guy who cost 35 million quid,
Okay.
Theo. He's on loan from Chelsea. He's a Belgian international. He bangs goals for fun for Belgium. Michy Batshuayi.
Oh, right. I've gone with him too.
Really?
Yeah, I agree. The last time he loaned into Palace,
Yeah.
he was very good. He was scoring
Yeah.
basically one goal every 2 games and he was banging them in.
Yeah.
This year, not the same, is it?
He's just not scoring
yet.
goals.
He's not
Exactly,
scored yet.
yeah.
He's played 4 starts and 8 games and he hasn't scored for Palace yet. It's the one thing you want your striker to do. Even Benteke's outscoring him.
I know.
And Batshuayi is rated because of the clubs that he's played for. He is a rated footballer, but he's not playing at that level right now and therefore he's the most overrated. We agree.
International level, 21 goals in 32 games.
That's really good.
It is, and you can't score for Crystal Palace.
It's
and
weird.
Benteke's keeping you out of the team. Over to Everton, and it has to be the man who cost 44 million quid from Swansea, ex-Spurs, Gylfi Sigurdsson. Now, this man is a legend in Iceland, and back in the day, he was an absolute plur. These days, I'm sorry, he's cruising. He's just not performing.
But is he rated anymore? Do people really look at Sigurdsson and think, cool, what a player? No,
I think
they don't.
do. I think
No,
certainly
they
my
don't.
generation, they remember what he's capable of.
I don't think they do, mate. I don't think they do. The one man, now I've kind of done a similar thing. I went with Jordan Pickford.
Okay.
And the reason I went with Jordan Pickford is there are still people out there who think he's highly rated. An example, Southgate, still keeping him the England #1 for God's sake and not giving Dean Henderson or Pope a chance. That's just an example of one of many people that still rate Pickford and defend him when he pulls off a good game. The guy isn't that good anymore. And we did a Premier League ranking video and both of us put him, what, bottom 3?
Yes.
So yeah, it has to be him for me.
Yeah, and the statistics back you up, Theo, because his save percentage is terrible.
Small hands.
Yeah, and he would have been my second choice.
Fair play.
Fulham now, and I've gone for another loanee from Chelsea. Now, a lot was expected of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and I don't think he's delivering. I think he could have come into this season and absolutely do things at Fulham, and he just hasn't.
I agree. I've also gone for Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Right.
And like you said, Dad, it's a real sad one because the way some Chelsea fans speak of him, they speak of him like he's up there.
Yeah.
And he is only on a loan deal, so he's still a Chelsea player. Remember that, he's back in May. So this guy could still be a Chelsea first team. So they've still got a bit of hope. And what that means is they rate him up there, but really, the way they speak of him is like he's a kid. He's not, he's 24.
I know.
He's got an injury problem
Yeah.
with his back and stuff, so he barely gets that much game time anyway. It's a real sad story because Ruben could have had that potential. But now, I mean, I know he's looked okay at Fulham, but sometimes he's looked a little bit rubbish. He has to be seen as overrated now.
Absolutely. He was great against Everton, and that's where he got his 1 goal. But
Yeah.
otherwise, he's been inconsistent. He's been anonymous.
Low 6s in some of these Fulham games, and they need a big performance from him to help them stay up, and it's not come yet. So maybe it will all change in the future. We don't know, but I agree with you.
Over to Yorkshire now for Leeds United, and this lad started the season really well with 2 goals against Fulham.
Yeah.
Helder Costa, the Portuguese international.
Right, and I completely agree.
Right.
And actually, it's one of these clubs that's really tough to pick one because
Yeah.
Leeds, you know, the way Bielsa picks his squad, he doesn't really want a single player that's deemed as overrated, some they overpay or that sort of. And you can't look at the new signings yet because you've got to give them more time. You can't say Rodrigo yet or anyone like that. I've also gone with Helder Costa, and the reason is, Dad, they did pay 20 million from Wolves.
Yes,
and
yes.
Leeds fans, some of them still look to his Wolves early days and think, oh, there's still a real player in there. In my opinion, he's not on the level of Rafinha. Rafinha's come in and he just seems a little bit better for me.
Yeah, now Helder Costa, he's just inconsistent, isn't he, Theo?
Yeah.
Those 2 early goals, those 2 early assists. But on other days, he's really
been average.
poor, yes.
And Leeds don't want average, they want Rafinha, and he's been good, so he'll probably replace him.
Leicester now, and I've gone for Kelechi Iheanacho, who came from Man City for 25 million. And don't forget, Theo, they expected this guy to be the replacement for Jamie Vardy. He simply isn't.
Replacement?
Yes.
I think he was a backup. Vardy's still got years on him. He's still one of the best strikers in the Prem.
Vardy will be 34 very soon. He's got a couple
Ronaldo's
of years
35 and he's one of the best in the world.
Right, who's going to replace Vardy?
Vardy's entered his prime at 32. The guy is going to be around here at the top until 36 plus. I'm telling you that for a fact. Kelechi Iheanacho isn't rated. I don't think you can say.
Oh, come on, he is rated.
I don't think he's rated.
25 million.
He's a backup striker for Leicester.
Talk to any City fans who was really rated.
I don't rate him, and I don't think many people do. The man that people rate who is a little bit overrated on current abilities, Harvey Barnes. Now bear with me here. Harvey Barnes could be a really top winger. And Leicester fans agree with me with what I'm about to say. I actually got this from a Leicester fan opinion. Harvey Barnes is he could be a very good winger. Good on the ball, fast, but his final end product isn't that good yet. And the way some people speak of him is he's already the complete Leicester winger. The guy has the potential and he can become very good, but as it stands, he's a little bit overrated.
Sorry, there's something wrong with my ears and I need to call the doctor because I think you just said Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes!
You're joking. He's having a good season for a very good team. Theo, I don't believe what you're saying, pal.
Leicester fans agree. Thogden doesn't. Who am I listening to?
And now for Liverpool, and my goodness, this is a difficult one, but I've gone for Takumi Minamino. Now, I know he only cost 8 million quid from Salzburg, but quite simply, I don't think he's Liverpool standard, Theo.
Dad, you could have gone with some better options.
Go on, what have you got?
I thought you would have gone with Joe Gomez.
Well, he's injured, and I think he's a decent player, Theo.
It didn't hold you back yesterday from picking injured players. A lot of people said Joe Gomez as a suggestion.
Have you gone for that?
No, I haven't.
Good.
I've gone with Robbie or Bobby Firmino.
Oh, come on, no, please.
What do you mean no?
Please.
You have to be joking.
No,
what do you mean
no?
no?
You're joking, all right.
You like
I'm
Bobby...
sorry, wait a minute. Where's Jeremy Beadle?
No. You rate him.
Yes, I rate him. He's a superb
No, you don't.
player.
That's bollocks. You're actually chatting raucous, mate. There's no way you rate Bobby Firmino. This geezer's overrated, and there are people like you. This is actually proving my point, the way Dad's reacting, because he's rating him. And the problem with Bobby...
Sorry. Is that parent line? I've got a child here who thinks that Bobby Firmino is rubbish. What do I do?
What's parent line?
I just made it up.
I don't even know what you're about. Listen, Bobby Firmino, it's simple. Diogo Jota plays better as a number 9 for Liverpool. Scores more goals, and he'd probably create as much as him when he gets used to the team cohesion. Bobby Firmino, recently this season, has been not confident. Every time he's on the ball, he doesn't have that poacher's energy. He doesn't want to hit it, he doesn't want to shoot, he doesn't want to beat a man like he used to. He's not a good player anymore. Some Liverpool fans still see him on the same level, and he's lost it. And I'm telling you for a fact, Bobby Firmino is overrated. Say what you want.
Sorry, I think Jeremy Beadle must be in this room.
Say what you want.
I agree that the goal contributions have gone down.
You've gone safe and said Minamino. No one even rated Minamino in the first place.
By speaking over someone, it doesn't make.
But I'm speaking facts.
You're not, Theo. He's a quality player. You just got to watch it. So much of what he does doesn't come out in stats.
Listen. 2 goals, 2 assists this season in a Liverpool number 9 position. Jota beat that in 1 game versus Atalanta in the Champions League.
Theo, he's undroppable.
Undroppable, my arse, mate. Get Jota in there and they'll be better. Just my opinion. Imagine Bobby Firmino wasn't Brazilian. Imagine he was like Romanian. He'd already be out the team.
Oh, come on.
It's true.
Honestly.
Okay. On to the next one. Let's go to City.
I need to take a lie down, but let's move on to Manchester City. And this one pains me.
Right.
Because the name I'm about to say, back in his day, was absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
72 million quid worth of talent. Bernardo Silva.
Well, we've gone from hating each other to agreeing.
Really?
And the truth is, Dad, the geezer just isn't pulling out the stats in the Premier League, the Champions League. He's played like 12 games overall this season. 0 goals, 0 assists. If you're a City winger and you're not getting out any stats, something must be going wrong. And it's unfortunate because last year we saw some really good performances from Bernardo Silva. Do you think he's a one-season wonder?
He could be, Theo. He's been really mediocre. 3 shots all season.
Yeah.
No big chances created. Like you said, no goals, no assists. And you've got to contribute, haven't you, Theo? If you're in that City front 4.
Let's hope he gets back to his best. Anyway, let's move on to the other side of Manchester.
Manchester United now, and this might surprise you because I've gone for a guy who is inconsistent. He's a poor defender. He gives away penalties. He can't keep the ball. He doesn't seem to care. Only 1 goal all season.
I know you're going to say
Pogba.
it. I know you're going to say it. I knew you were going to say Paul Pogba is what I'm trying to say here. Because you hate him. You actually hate this guy.
I think he's the most overrated player in world football, Theo.
Funnily enough, I defend Pogba a lot. In the streams, it's always a battle between you and me. But I might have been going against my own cause here because I've also put down Pogba.
Good.
And the reason I have, and this is simple, I thought I'd be kicking off with you about this one. But the reason I've done it is because Pogba is a very special player in his day. I'm not denying that. He's a really good player. For France, he's unbelievable. Some Man United games, he's great. But he's too inconsistent. And the way people speak about him is he's putting in world-class generational performances week in, week out. And he can do that, but he doesn't do it every week. And therefore, I'm defending Pogba as a player, but he's not consistent in that fashion. Therefore, he is overrated, so I agree.
You've got to care if you're a player. Now, I'd hate to see Paul Pogba playing alongside Roy Keane. Roy Keane would smack him because he doesn't care. He doesn't bleed for the shirt.
I have to say, Raiola said that his Man United days are over, so let's find out where he goes. I don't know when he's going to leave or what the situation is, but let's find out what develops over the next few days.
Newcastle now, and I've gone for Miguel Almiron.
Oh, okay.
Who I rate as a player. Now, he's a Paraguayan international, cost 22 million quid. But he's had 1 shot all season. He's just not performing. And I saw him in that game against Southampton, and he was woeful.
Fair enough, Dad. And I'm going to completely agree with you. This season, Almiron hasn't been on the level that we've seen of him before and in the MLS. And that's just true. I mean, a lot of Newcastle fans say that he's class and he's got pace on him, adds something different to the team. But really, he doesn't bring in the stats. And therefore, he's not offering much to the team, so I think he's overrated too.
Sheffield United now, and this is another one that gives me no pleasure. It's a player who cost 23 million quid. He's 20 years old, and he looks really lost this season. Ryan Brewster.
That's harsh. He's played like 4 games.
He's been involved in 7 games, no goals, no assists, and I think 4 shots all season.
He's been thrown into the team, and this year, a team that barely get any chances. It's very hard for him.
It is very hard for him, and it pains me to say that, but I'm sorry. It just isn't working. And that price tag goes against him. It's a lot of money, and he was really gassed up by Liverpool fans and others, and he's
I think the problem for Sheffield United is the midfield. And I think one man who was performing really well last season, got so many contributions, a bit of an FPL legend. This year he's done nothing, and their midfield is still the problem. He still plays. Lundstrom, John Lundstrom, the Scouser. And he's just dropped off a lot this year. He was rated a lot, and now he's just nowhere near as good. And to be honest, the whole Sheffield United team has dropped off. It's a real shame what's happened at that club. But Brewster, I want to go with him because he's new and he still needs to get used to things, and he still can be very good. So I thought maybe a bit harsh there.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to him. I hope he scores a hat-trick in the next game, but I think he's probably gone to the wrong club. Southampton on the south coast. Now, everyone from the Republic of Ireland is going to hate me now. I found this one really difficult. I've gone with Shane Long.
Really? He's barely played?
He's barely played. Okay, only 88 minutes, but like no chances, no assists, no goals.
You're going to like
Theo, and he's the same age as Jamie Vardy, so maybe he should be working his way. He is really,
You're going to like what I go for here.
Go on then.
For Southampton, I've gone for no one.
Wow.
I've gone for no one.
Wow.
I've done this before once in a video, but it's simply because Hazenhutl has built such a system around the squad this year that every single player, they just aren't overrated because everybody gives 100%.
Yeah.
And they're all quality this year.
I know.
And everybody that you're going for, Dad, is just people that haven't played, fringe players. That's just harsh because no one really rates Shane Long anymore.
Oh, if you're Irish, you rate him, I tell you.
Okay, maybe, but most Premier League fans don't. That's why I couldn't go with him. There's not one starter in that team who's overrated. Hazenhutl's done a wonderful job.
That's very fair, Theo. Tottenham Hotspur, and this man cost 27 million quid from PSV. And honestly, he's a good player, but he's not really performing. Steven Bergwijn.
Harsh.
But fair.
No, harsh.
No, he's just young. Not getting involved in
He can become good.
He's not looking
He can still become good.
He can become good, but he came with a reasonable price tag, and he's not yet contributing.
He loves playing City, I'm telling you. He can be very good. He's got pace, he's got threat, and he can perform. I agree. It's not every single game like some other players. But the man I've gone with, who they signed and they thought he'd be the regular right back, it really hasn't worked out, Doherty. Matt Doherty.
Okay.
At Wolves, he plays as a right wing back and he could go up a bit more up the pitch and he had a bit more threat going forward. And it really worked. And yeah, they brought in Semedo, that hasn't really worked at Wolves. But for Spurs, it started off with Doherty. He was out positioned a little bit because he was too attacking at first. And he doesn't really get that in a back four of Spurs. He can't really play like he did at Wolves, so it's not really worked out. So I'm going to have to say Doherty for Spurs. And, you know, Aurier's back in the team now, so that kind of proves my point.
Yeah, Doherty would probably be my second choice,
Fair
but
play.
he was a lot cheaper than Bergwijn.
Yeah.
And I think with Bergwijn, you know, there are other
Still a
players
wage
like
on
Lucas
everyone.
Moura who are just better.
Yeah, fair play.
West Bromwich Albion, I've had to go for Matt Phillips.
Who?
Matt Phillips. Now,
Who?
in 3 hours of football, he's had one shot on target.
Played 3 hours of football?
Yeah, and now
What?
back in the day, this is a guy who would get you loads of assists, a bunch of goals, and really, he's probably just a championship player.
Yeah, so is he rated? Is he really? Do people think,
look,
oh,
Theo,
Matt Phillips,
this is
buy
West,
him up?
This is West Brom, Theo. What else can I say?
Well, you can say Matthias Pereira.
Oh.
Because he's rated.
Whoa.
He's actually rated.
You've gone for Pereira?
Yeah, I have. And I'm a culprit for it. I'm one of the people that said he was going to be a baller this year.
Wow.
And it hasn't worked out. He just got a red card in the last game. And I'm not saying that's the problem.
Yeah.
And it probably shouldn't have been a
It's
red.
a very harsh red card.
I know. But his contributions this year have simply no... Can I just say, last season in the Championship, he got 24 goal contributions.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous. This year he's got like 2 or 3. For West Brom, they expect much more from their best player. And he hasn't been up to that standard. And therefore, I've gone with him.
Very harsh, but I get your logic.
And also the TikTok geezer, Greener Me, agrees with me. He does. He just does.
West Ham United, and I've gone for a legend in the Ukraine, Andrei Yarmolenko, who came 3 years ago and has only scored 7 goals in the Premier League. He cost a lot of money. He's been a flop.
He's not actually been a flop. When he played, he plays like 20 minutes on average a game. He hasn't started a game for West Ham this season.
7 goals in the last 3 years, Theo.
Dad, you're being a mug. I found this one really difficult because everyone was saying, oh yeah, just go Declan Rice. But I rate him. I think he's a baller.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I've not gone with him. I'm just going to agree with you and go Yarmolenko.
You give me all that crap and then you agree. Shame
Dad,
on you.
I would have put no one, but I already used that card for Southampton.
Yeah.
West Ham again. David Moyes has done so well to make everybody decent.
Yeah.
And the problem with Yarmolenko, people don't really rate him anyway. So
They do in the Ukraine, and
okay,
he cost
there we go.
18
I'm just
million
going to agree with you and we'll move on.
Thank
there
you,
we go.
And Wolverhampton Wanderers, we're going to agree on this.
I know
he's
we will.
fast, he's tricky, but there's no end product.
Portugal.
No assists, no goals. Adama
Semedo.
Traore.
What?
Adama Traore.
Portugal, Wolves. And
You've not gone for Semedo.
I've gone for Semedo.
You've not gone for Adama Traore?
No. I think Adama Traore would be my second place.
Yeah.
This year hasn't been that great. But, let's be honest, Dad. Nelson Semedo came from Barcelona. They paid £36 million for him.
Yeah.
What didn't come cheap, did he? And this is what people think of him, the Wolves fans. Can't defend, he's always out of position, and provides pretty much no attacking threat. And that's Wolves fans saying that. And I've watched him a few times, and to be honest, he's not worth the money, so I agree.
Right. Now, the thing about Adama Traore, a lot of folk are talking about him as if he's world class, and he's not.
What, would you agree with me about Semedo, though?
I think that's a good second choice here.
Yeah, surprised when Portuguese players, it's Wolves. They don't have any, do they?
Yeah.
Anyway, that is the end of the video. Tell us in the comments, who do you think is the most overrated player at your club? Not even in the Premier League. Not even if we spoke about your club. Any team, anywhere. Let me know. I'll be responding. And make sure you like this video. It really does help us. And if we hit 9k likes, it would be incredible. Try and smash that like target. These videos always do well when you guys comment and support it and share it with your mates. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend of Premier League football. Premier League predictions out tomorrow, and have a great day. See you later, guys. Bye.